Taylor Swift, Lady Gaga, Chris Evans. And welcome to Entertainment-30. I'm your host, Kenny Johnson. Welcome to Entertainment-30, the show where we break down all the hottest entertainment news in just 30 minutes. I'm your host, Kenny Johnson, and joining me on our panel today is...
I'm Kirsten.
I'm Ashley.
And I'm Bree.
Well, now it's time to break down our top 2 stories that happened this week and our segment, Top 2. Taylor Swift broke her apolitical streak Monday after she posted her midterm election views on Instagram. In the post, Taylor denounces Tennessee Senator Marsha Blackburn. Taylor states that she has, quote, always cast her vote based on which candidate will protect and support for human rights, end quote. And from Taylor's perspective, the senator doesn't fit that role. Closing out her political post, Taylor encourages young people to vote. Kirsten, I know this is a very hot topic right now. What are your views on Taylor Swift's post?
I personally love that she did that. I think if you are somebody that has status such as Taylor Swift, or you're a public figure that has, you know, being well known like she is, I think use your voice, because obviously people were listening, because there's the highest registered to vote rate in Tennessee after she said that.
That's right.
In young voters. So I think it's incredible, and I think more people should be speaking up and raising awareness for not only voting but other issues as well.
Yes.
I agree. I think it's so important, us as a generation, and I think that that's kind of the people that she's kind of going towards, that demographic, kind of our age. It's like 18 to like 26 or whatever, and I think, like Kirsten said, with her social status, it's such a good thing for her to be doing, to be raising awareness to vote, because it's such a big, like every time you vote, it's like such a big, almost a big deal, even if it's like a small little election. So I think using her status to kind of bring awareness to that is such a great thing for her to be doing, and I'm kind of glad that she broke that silence, because she is such a big star and a lot of people do kind of look up to her, and I think that definitely she's using it in a right way, and kind of like she's saying she will vote for whoever on each side as long as they fit her political views in general, which I think is great.
Yeah, you know, both of them summed up very well what I was going to say, but if anyone's going to do this, get people out to vote, it's Taylor Swift. Come on, let's be honest. No matter if you binge listener or you're a big fan, she's the person that can reach all platforms. So good for her. I have no complaints.
And I know some people, they say that celebrities shouldn't voice their political views. What are your guys' thoughts on that?
Just kind of going back to what I said earlier, I think that they absolutely should, because they're a group of people in our society that have the most impact and influence. And I think with this particular topic, you see a lot of young people that have very strong opinions on issues, but they don't want to voice not so much voice their opinions, but they feel like if they go to vote, their opinion doesn't matter. But I think like what Taylor Swift is saying in this instance, she's letting people know, like especially our young generation, your vote does matter, and it's more important now for you to get out there and do it than it ever has been before.
All right, well, the Met Gala announced their theme for the 2019 gala. The Met's theme will be camp-themed, based off Susan Sontag's 1964 essay, Notes on Fashion. The Met Gala also announced that the event will be co-chaired by Lady Gaga, Harry Styles, Anna Wintour, and Serena Williams. You guys, last year's theme was Catholicism. Ashley, were you a big fan of that one? And what are your thoughts on this new theme?
Yeah, I loved last year's theme. I thought there was a lot of controversy around it, which I think kind of this year there probably won't be, because it's about camping.
Yeah.
But I think Rihanna brings it every year, Lady Gaga brings it every year, and she's a chair this year. So I think that she'll definitely be like a huge part of it. Harry Styles is very stylish, Anna Wintour, Serena Williams on the court is so stylish. And I'm also really excited to see what Rihanna brings to the table, because she brings something so great every single year.
Retweet. That's so true. I mean, going off of what Ashley's saying, all the people every year, you just don't know. It could be camping. It could be studying for a test. The theme blatantly doesn't matter. It's the Met Gala. It's the most glamorous event of the year. So camping is going to be glamping. So I'm excited to see how it turns out.
Yeah,
Well,
for sure.
also with all the names that were mentioned, Blake Lively is somebody who always gets me so excited.
Yes.
She, if I can say, style icon of not only our generation, but just one of the most stylish people that you've ever seen. But also Kate Upton, she'll have had her baby by the time the Met Gala rolls around. I loved what she wore last year at their Met Gala, so I'm excited to see what she pulls out again this year.
Do you think Carrie Underwood is going to go? Has she been to ones in the past? I'm not sure.
I don't think
I
she
don't
has.
think so either,
But
but
if she did go, she would look fabulous and she would slay that red carpet.
Oh,
Yes.
yes. All right. Well, when we return back from the break, we're going to take a look and see if that Lady Gaga movie is worth seeing. Don't go anywhere.
I got some Oxy after I hurt my neck. First, I took them to feel better. Then, I just kept taking them. I didn't know they'd be this addictive. I didn't know how far I'd go to get more.
Opioid dependence can happen after just 5 days. Know the truth, spread the truth.
Week in Review starts right now.
Welcome to Week in Review.
where we take a look back at the top stories of the week.
My name is Ben Henry. Alongside me is Emilio Ramos.
Well, the temperature is not that cold, even though it is snowing like crazy.
On WCHA conference rival, Bemidji State.
Thank you for joining us for UTBS News Week in Review. We'll see you back here Monday at 4:30.
Well, now it's time to take a look at the biggest movie news that happened this weekend, starting off with A Star is Born. Well, it's finally here, the movie that everyone can't stop talking about, A Star is Born. The Bradley Cooper directed film stars himself and Lady Gaga as the main characters Jackson Maine and Allie. The story centers around singer Jackson Maine discovering Lady Gaga's character Allie, and as her stardom rises, his starts to fall. The drama has been gaining a lot of buzz and is a big contender for this Oscar season. My question to you guys is, does A Star is Born live up to the hype? Starting with you, Bree. What do you think?
Well, my tears are still fresh from last night, so I definitely think it lives up to the hype. Watching this movie, I could relate to it on a personal level because there is something that happens in the movie that I went through in real life, and I think it's just one of those timeless classics because they've done this twice already, this story, and I think Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga were just effortlessly their characters. And Lady Gaga, can we talk about what can't she do? I'm wondering.
Oh my gosh, she like produces shows, she can act, she can direct, she did American Horror Story, she directed that. Oh my gosh, I absolutely loved this movie from beginning to end. I won't spoil it obviously, but I was sobbing at the end. Bring your tissues, you will need them. Yes. Because I just absolutely loved it.
Well, not only talking about Lady Gaga, but talking about Bradley Cooper. Anything that he's in is so good. And not only can he act, but he also can direct. I mean, you look at just kind of the more serious roles that he's taken to not so serious compared to The Hangover to, I would say this is a little more dramatic for him. So I love actors that can do it all, and he's one of those examples.
And he's a really good chameleon too. Like when you watch him, you don't think, oh, that's Bradley Cooper. You think that's the character, which, and he brings such an amount, they both do, of realism to the story too, which I thought was astounding.
Yeah, Lady Gaga, when she was done with the role, she dyed her hair platinum because she was just like, I was just so immersed in the role that I needed to dye my hair when we were done because I just needed to part from her because it was like that just shows how much of the emotional toll like it took on her. And like she hasn't always been an actor, so like being a singer and a performer, I can see how like she kind of took that in that role. But also Anne Hathaway talked about it when she did Les Mis. That happened to her as well. So it's just crazy that she got so immersed in her character, and I thought it was really
going
cool.
off of that too, you look at people who, can I dare say this is, like you said, maybe potentially like an Oscar contender. You look at people like Leonardo DiCaprio and how he really immersed himself into the role. I forget what the movie was called that won the Oscar.
The Revenant.
Yes, thank you. But Oscar winning, and he really immersed himself into that role. So I feel like there's kind of a pattern here with those Oscar winners.
The Academy definitely likes people that make the physical change, and I think Bradley and Lady, you could say, they both kind of went through that emotionally and physically. But can we talk about how cute Bradley Cooper's dog was? Because that's actually his dog in real life. The fluffy dog in the movie is Bradley Cooper's dog in real life. I'm sorry.
Everyone in that
Oh,
movie,
yeah.
I loved every
Yes.
second of it.
Well, now it's time to move on to a more sadder story. Chris Evans, who most of us know as Captain America, tweeted out a final goodbye to his Marvel superhero role. In his tweet, Chris says, quote, "Officially wrapped on Avengers 4, it was an emotional day to say the least. Playing the role over at least 8 years has been an honor," end quote. Chris Evans also thanked his cast, crew, and the audience as well. You guys, it's over. No more Captain America for Chris Evans. It's kind of sad. I know, Kirsten, you're not a big superhero fan, but you know how much of a big part.
I'm not a huge superhero fan, but my brother and sister, they are huge into superhero movies and into comics, so I kind of know a lot about it secondhand. But my question is, did he break some sort of like contract by saying like he's done? Because a lot of people are questioning whether, Captain America dies in this film. So it kind of just leaves, I think, a lot of unanswered questions or maybe even spoilers like people are saying. I don't really know, but I feel like you don't really release that information until after the movie airs and people have seen it, but...
I know, yeah.
That's true. I love the Avengers, so I'm kind of sad that he's leaving, but I also heard a rumor that he maybe might go to DC. Obviously, I just saw that online. I don't actually know. But, like, I heard Superman and Batman are open. So, like, what if he just transfers over? I feel like fans will be outraged. But I feel like hopefully he just steps down in general. Maybe they'll replace him. I have no idea, but
I know, yeah.
it'll be kind of sad.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. But the Avengers cast, too, I wonder how they're feeling because it's not just Chris Evans leaving, it's their coworkers who they've worked with for so long. I don't know, I feel like when people graduate from here, I get really sad. So I can't imagine working with someone for 8 years and just being like, okay.
Well, coming up after the break, Star Wars is moving from the big screen to the small screen. Stay with us.
Dear humans, I stand here today not for myself, but for every tail wagger, sloppy kisser, and curtain ninja. I stand here for each one of the nearly 4,100 dogs and cats killed in shelters each day, asking you to join our cause and help us make sure every best friend has a chance to meet one of their own. With Best Friends Animal Society leading the charge and your help, we can save them all.
There are oceans and rocks, places where fish swim and birds fly. History is made, art is created, things happen that should always be remembered. Heroes emerge, a woman sets people free, a man makes light, a leader steps forward. It can be a place, a feeling, a state of mind. So get up, get out there, and find your park.
Well, moving on to TV news, we had some big news from a galaxy far, far away. Last Friday, Lucasfilm released new information about their new live-action Star Wars TV show premiering exclusively on the Disney streaming service. Along with a picture from set, we got a synopsis of the series and a director's list for the first couple episodes. The show, named The Mandalorian, will follow a lone Mandalorian gunfighter after the fall of the Galactic Empire, but before the emergence of the First Order. The directors for the show include, but are not limited to, Dave Filoni, Taika Waititi, and Bryce Dallas Howard. Ashley, what are your thoughts about this new show?
Yeah, I mean, obviously Star Wars has been a movie and it has been like a huge phenomenon for like such a long time. So I'm excited to see where they take it on Disney streaming. I know it's obviously like not going to be on like a certain network. It's just going to be online, correct?
Yes, Disney has their own streaming service, or they're going to make it.
Kind of like Hulu, right?
Yes, or like Netflix. So they'll have their own,
Yeah, well, I think that's really cool. And I think that that will be a great way to like kind of get their almost streaming services jump started. Because obviously you're going to need something big to draw that crowd in, kind of like take it away from Netflix or Hulu.
Well, can we just talk about how Star Wars literally can be on any kind of platform that they want, like to TV, to being in films. I don't know. You just got to respect the storytelling of that and how it's timeless almost. So.
Yeah.
See, for me, I understand how big of a fan base Star Wars has, but I feel like they just need to let it go.
Let it go.
At this point, like that's my very unpopular opinion, and I realize that.
That's very unpopular,
But
I feel like.
the movies, and they keep it going with like new comics and then new TV. I mean, shows like this, and
I
I'm just
guess,
like, how
yeah.
long can you drag it out for? I don't get it.
It's a long game, that's for sure. While moving on to another Netflix original, Black Mirror, the unsettling Netflix original that makes you distrust every single piece of technology after an episode, announced last Monday that in their next season they will have a choose-your-own adventure episode. Throughout the episode, viewers will have to make decisions that affect the ending and the storyline of the episode. Black Mirror Season 5 will be released in December this year. Kirsten, I know it's kind of hard to watch these Black Mirror episodes because you get so unnerved and so uneasy during them. What are your thoughts on this? Choose your own adventure too.
Well, starting off with like Netflix, I think that's a very smart move for streaming services and other technology. It's always evolving. I think it's very smart for them to start digging into more ways like, okay, this has worked. How can we expand it to make it better and more creative and attract even more people to our service? But from my personal standpoint on the episode itself, I feel like that's so cool. I've never seen really anything like that before. So it would have me drawn in.
Yeah.
I'm definitely excited. I saw one season of Black Mirror and I was absolutely just shocked. I wasn't on my phone, and you're like, you just get super kind of sketched out. You're like, the government is kind of shady. So then I'm excited to see, I feel like it's gonna be a huge social media viral phenomenon, and people are gonna be going back to the beginning and doing all the different ways. So it's gonna be a while for somebody to get every single kind of way to do the episode done.
Yeah, and going off of that, I'm kind of late to the game on all this, so I'm excited just hearing what you guys have to say about it and just reading everything online, because I kind of did a quick peek of what's going on, but it sounds exciting. I love when Netflix does new changes. It's always a good thing. So.
Well, Bree, you have to get into Black Mirror because every single episode feels like its own movie.
Oh,
and it's just so good. The acting is so on point. And
it is so good.
The directing too, it's just, whew, it just really gets under your skin too.
Yeah, it's they're all out of the box.
Yes.
They're all you think about it and you see them and you're like, oh my God, how did they think of that?
How'd they do that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, sticking on the topic of Netflix, Marvel's Netflix original superhero show Daredevil had its Season 3 trailer released last Thursday. The gritty crime drama blasts audience with action and a sense of desperation with the threat of a copycat villain. But the biggest takeaway from this trailer is the Season 1 villain Wilson Fisk, played by Vincent D'Onofrio, coming back to take over as the big bad of the season. Daredevil Season 3 will be released this October. Bree, are you into superhero crime dramas like this, or what do you think of this?
You know, Kenny, I just kind of stick to my rom-coms and my popcorn and my jammies in my bed.
All the boys I've loved before, right?
Yes, retweet. But where's Noah Centineo? But anyway, I just think action, it's never, I don't know, unpopular with a movie. You never can go wrong with it, and I want to get more into them because I'll be hanging out with my guy friends especially, and they'll be like, oh, did you see the new movie? And I'm like, no, but this trailer, I did watch it. It does look really fulfilling and suspenseful, so
yes.
Can't wait.
I also have not seen this series but I know Marvel also has a show called Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which I have loved every single season of it, so I feel like I should start watching
this one's
show.
A little bit different because it's more gritty and more bloody and stuff because it's on Netflix, so they have that freedom to do so. But Kirsten, didn't you just get so anxious during the trailer?
Well, Kenny, I hate to disappoint you. I've never even heard of this show before.
Really?
Maybe I live under a rock.
See, 3
but then you
seasons
mentioned
in.
blood and gore a little bit, and I'm a super squeamish person, so I don't think those two things sit well with me.
No.
Not taking away from the acting or the content itself, but
Yeah.
I don't know if this is something personally for me to really get into.
I don't know if you can get into this one because there's one scene where this guy bashes this other guy's head with a car
done.
door.
I'm already done.
It was
can't
so
do this.
gory, and it literally, it sounded like a watermelon being smashed.
I'm not into this at all. Count me out.
Insane. And the fight choreography in the show is through the roof because it'll be one take of an entire fight scene, and they're going through doors, down hallways, all in one take. So you guys should really.
That production aspect.
Oh
That'd
yeah.
be crazy.
It's so good. It's so good. Well, everybody, it's time to grab your croquet set. Heathers, the world's most controversial TV show, is finally airing, and last Thursday, Paramount Network announced in a promotional trailer that Heathers would finally be airing on October 25th on the Paramount Network. The original story of Heathers follows Veronica Sawyer as she is tied up in the murder of the school's popular girls, the Heathers. You guys, this TV show has been very controversial because of its black or dark comedy. It's very sensitive, and so it gets really into some dark stuff, and that's why they had to push it back and keep it on hold. But Bree, what are your thoughts on them finally getting to it?
I mean, if you look at Parkland, the most recent school shooting that was the most deadly, it is, I mean, you always wonder, is it too soon? But I think if the PR team is okay with this show and they're advertising in a way that's not offensive, because I don't think people really get that. It's not just like the TV show, it's how you promote it, it's how you get the word of mouth out. And because I could say like, this Heathers show is all about school shootings, but then you go and watch it and they only cover that much of school shootings. So I think it's all about promotion at this point. I hope it's accepted and I hope it's not too controversial, but I guess only time will tell. So.
And what do you guys think about it? Do you think that it's a good idea to dive right in, or should they hold off?
I think from my perspective on it, controversy always does so well, and whether you want to admit it or not, it always gets everybody talking. And I hope like this, my comment like doesn't come off like a little insensitive, but I feel like our society as a whole has become very sensitized to protecting like the ears of people so that we don't offend anyone, but like that's just not how the world works. And no matter what you do, somebody's gonna be offended by anything. Like I read an article today that somebody was offended that the line checker at Costco put a smiley face on a receipt. Like I know that's super different than what we're talking about, but I feel like it'll be good.
And it'll be interesting too to see if it holds up to some good critical value, like if it's actually good too. Yeah,
like we talked about that it was also a play.
Yeah,
as
a
well.
musical,
A
musical, and it was an 80s
never,
movie.
I've never heard of the Heathers before, so I'm actually super excited. I watched the trailer and I think it looks really, really good. So I feel like it's gonna be kind of like almost like a Riverdale.
Yeah, maybe
like with
because
a spin of something
they
else.
get deep into mysteries too.
Yeah.
Well, up next, we're gonna go over all the winners at the AMAs. Don't go anywhere. All right, well, one of the nation's biggest award shows was on last night. Did you watch? If not, we got you covered. The American Music Awards aired last night, and opening the show was Taylor Swift singing her song, I Did Something Bad. And it was the women that really took over the show, with other show performances led by Camila Cabello, Cardi B, Dua Lipa, Carrie Underwood, Jennifer Lopez, Sierra, Missy Elliott, and Mariah Carey. As for the winners, the biggest winner was Taylor Swift, as she won Artist of the Year, Favorite Female Pop/Rock Artist, Favorite Pop/Rock Album, and Tour of the Year. Kirsten, you tuned into this, didn't you?
I did, and I'm biased. I'm a huge Carrie Underwood fan, but how could you not love her performance of her new song, Spinning Bottles, off her new album, Cry Pretty? I could talk about that album a lot more than I'm going to, but that song too, it kind of gives you a sense of how much deeper she's gotten into her songwriting and everything and more personal. So I loved that performance, and then her acceptance speech, she was just super cute. But also I was really happy to see like Khalid and Halsey perform Eastside. That song's been stuck in my head for weeks, on repeat on my phone too.
Yeah.
So I was really excited to see that performance as well.
I'm always like a big fan of like, what are they wearing? You know, like Taylor Swift
looked like a disco ball, but it
she
worked.
looked like a disco ball. I loved the dress, the boots. Okay, were a little much, but I really liked that she went like all out with the theme. Carrie Underwood also looked amazing in her dress, and J-Lo.
Can we
in
also
that pink
not
dress?
forget
Oh
to
my
mention
goodness.
Carrie Underwood is the most beautiful pregnant woman I have ever seen, and it's
Kirsten
not
and
fair.
Carrie Underwood
It's not
is
fair.
just it's just Kirsten and Carrie Underwood just won.
I feel that way. I really do.
I mean, I also like Taylor Swift. Her performance too was just so good. She's always a top tier performer.
She is,
and I love it.
And that's why she won Tour of the Year, because I went to the Reputation tour, blown away, and the snake that comes out, I love that part.
I know.
I love that. And then Taylor also has the record now for the most wins by a female artist, and the person that held that before was Whitney Houston. So what can't she do? It just blows my mind. Like Whitney,
And then what about
amazing,
about Cardi B? Okra. Spicy mommy, hot tamale.
You know, I didn't catch her performance actually. Unpopular
it's on
opinion.
YouTube, Brie, and you just gotta dive right in, and it'll get you energized.
I love her. She is adorable. I'm sure it was great, but I don't know. Her music.
And
awesome.
She looks
no
so
shoes,
good, too.
no shoes have been thrown.
There is something else I want to say about the AMAs too, kind of tying back into a topic that we had earlier, but Taylor Swift, how after she won one of her awards, the platform she took to make sure to say, hey guys, get out and vote, no matter how big or small the election, midterms are coming up, so she didn't say who to vote for
And
by
Billy
any means.
Billy Eichner did that as well too. He totally went off script. All right. Well, after the break, our favorite teen drama is coming back. Stay with us.
Awkward. I'm the awkward silence. You try to avoid me, then there I am again.
But an awkward silence can be a great thing.
Like Kelly here is about to demonstrate.
You haven't really been yourself lately. Are you okay?
Find out how you can help a friend with their mental health.
Well, before we go, Riverdale, the CW show, is premiering its third season Wednesday, October 10th. Riverdale follows the four main characters, Archie Andrews, Jughead Jones, Veronica Lodge, and Betty Cooper, as they go through high school along with murder mystery, drug cartels, serial killers, corruption, you know, the usual. Riverdale airs Wednesday, October 10th at 7 o'clock. You guys, are you guys big Riverdale fans, or what are your thoughts on Riverdale or teen drama too?
Can we just talk about Cole Sprouse?
Yes.
So cute. And I don't remember the actor's
KJ
name
Apa.
who plays Archie.
KJ Apa, that's
Yeah, okay, that's what she said.
I don't even watch the show.
Also, so hot. I'm sorry. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, but they're just so cute and good looking. And Veronica, the girls who play Veronica and Betty are also so cute. Like, just everyone together is so aesthetically pleasing. They're all so cute together. They make the cutest couples. I love that show.
I've never seen this show a day in my life.
Well, it's kind of, have you seen
really good.
like Buffy the Vampire Slayer?
I've seen like one episode years
Okay,
ago.
what about, so you know Friday Night Lights, or
I
One
love
Tree
Friday
Hill.
Night
So
Lights,
it's like
yes.
One Tree Hill or Friday Night Lights, but with murder mystery involved too.
Bates Motel
Yeah.
meets Friday Night Lights.
Exactly.
Okay, that sounds interesting.
It's
But also,
not
you talked
as-
about Cole Sprouse.
Yes.
I don't think Cole Sprouse is cute at all. Like, get more of like a manly man, like a lumberjack in there, and I will
Archie's
tune
the
in.
lumberjack.
Archie's the lumberjack,
Is he?
and Cole's
Okay.
supposed to be like the
Sensitive
edgy,
hipster.
sensitive kid, you
Yeah.
know?
Not my type.
Oh gosh, I love him. He's so cute.
Oh, well, that's all we have for Entertainment 30 tonight. Stay tuned next time for your #1 source in all things entertainment.